Good.
Okay, hi, we're back. I'm talking with Dr. Christina Bjorndal again today. I want to thank you for the first two videos. We talked about tools for working with your mind with difficult thoughts and then also working with the breath. And today I want to ask you about any additional steps that you want to add to those.
Yeah, so the 4 R's is really where it starts, and mastering those is really important, as well as working with the breath. But there's 3 other steps that I want to mention. And those 3 steps, ultimately in the book, Beyond the Label, I talk about the 7 R's. So this will be sort of morphed into the 7 R's. So the first, just to recap, the first R is recognize your thoughts, then refrain from following them if they're not serving you by relaxing into the breath and then repeating the process. Now, the 5th R is rephrase or reaffirm. So basically what you want to do is whatever the thought was that you recognized in the very first step, say it's, I am unworthy. We want to rephrase that to something a little bit more positive, such as, I am worthy. Now, if you're like me, and I resisted this for so many years because I felt like saying affirmations was like spraying whipping cream on a pile of bologna. Like it just didn't feel true to me to say I am worthy when I actually felt I am unworthy. But remember, so there's a video that I'm going to ask you to go look at on our blog or on YouTube about, which explains psychoneuroimmunology. And what that is basically understanding that your thoughts create neuropeptides. Those neuropeptides in turn affect the hormones that get produced, and then those hormones affect how you feel. So where I was stuck for so many years was I thought I had to believe the rephrase. But you don't actually have to, it's not about believing it. It's just about saying it because of the physiological cascade that can happen internally as a result of that. So that's a really important distinction to make. And if it's too hard for you to go to, from I am unworthy to I am worthy, then just simply go neutral, which would be I am. And you don't fill in that blank. You just stay in that neutral place. And actually, as a test or as a challenge for yourself, I would encourage you to see if you can actually go neutral throughout your day. And you'll be really amazed at how descriptive we are with everything that we talk about. We're always judging it, and we're always, giving it some sort of label. So that's the 5th step, is to rephrase. The 6th step is to reflect. So every time that I have stumbled, and I have stumbled many times, it's really just about looking back over the 10 steps I talk about in Beyond the Label. Where might you have tripped up, right? So, did you have an upset with someone, or did you go off track with your diet? Did you stop exercising? Was there stress happening in your life? So, because I really think there's an explanation for what you're going through, and we just need to figure it out. That's all. We're not all meant to be suffering and, doomed to be devastated by depression for our entire lives. So reflection for me has been a really, really important step to be aware of whenever I do stumble into the pit of depression or start feeling anxious. And then the last R here is reward. And so really, I'll give this credit to my husband. When I explained, to him the 7 R's, and I talked about, well, actually the 6 R's, because I just got to this place of reflection. Then he's like, well, that sounds like a lot of hard work. You might want to, reward yourself somehow. But it speaks to self-compassion. It speaks to being kind to yourself. It speaks to this self-love step. So whenever you go through the 7 R's, really congratulate yourself and say, okay, I'm really proud of myself for doing that, for following these instructions, and for making this a regular practice in my life. So I think that we don't acknowledge ourselves enough, and we don't give ourselves like that pat on the back that we need. And we're always sort of looking externally for something that needs to be resolved internally. So I would just encourage you to give yourself what it is that you need to help you in whatever situation you find yourself in. So there you go. Those are the 7 R's in a nutshell.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And can you just, for us recapping all these videos, can you just name them again for us just briefly, please?
The videos?
Yeah. Oh, the 7 R's, the
The
seven
seven
steps.
R's. Okay. So the 7 R's are, so step one is to recognize, remember what's going on in your head. What's the thought that you're thinking? And always be discerning, right? Is it serving me or sabotaging me? Is it hurting me? Is it helping me? Is it kind to me or is it harmful to me? So recognize, then refrain. So stop from following the thoughts if they are of that self-critical, negative, not helpful nature. And I can tell you, I mean, one of my suicide attempts really was because this voice in my head was constantly beating myself up all day long, 24/7, months on end. And I had no skills on how to break out of that. And I ended up succumbing to this voice that constantly said to me, you should commit suicide, versus having the awareness that, okay, that's just a problematic thought. I don't have to believe it, nor do I have to follow it any further. And now what I need to do is the third step, which is then relax into this present moment, get into the breath, calm my nervous system down. The fourth step is to resolve. You have to repeat step 1, 2, and 3 continuously. Step 5 is to rephrase or reaffirm whatever you recognized in step 1. Step 6 is, if you do find yourself struggling with your mood, to reflect on the 10 steps I talk about in Beyond the Label: diet, sleep, exercise, managing stress, your thoughts, your emotions, how you behave and react in the world, the environment, spirituality, and love. So have you stumbled in one or more of those areas? And the last step is to reward yourself. I feel like I need to reward myself for just being able to remember all of that just for you.
Yeah, good job. That was great.
Yeah, there you go.
I love it. Yeah, no, I mean, it's a really intricate process. It's beautiful. And the way that you lay it out is so clear. So thank you so much for helping people the way that you do and helping them not get stuck with their thoughts. So again, thank you so much, Dr. Bjorndal. If there's anything else you want to add on?
No, I think that's great. Thanks for listening. Thanks for stopping by. And I hope that I can see you in a course or in person or at something, or send us a note and let us know how you like the series.
Fabulous. Okay, thank you so much.
Take care.
Bye.